What's up, guys? This is Chris from DraftDashboard.com.
Here are my DFS picks for MLB Tuesday, May 25th.
These picks apply for DraftKings and FanDuel. Before I get started, please drop a like on this video and hit that red subscribe button
And hit that bell icon.
so you don't miss our new videos.
In this video, I'm going to go over my top DFS picks for today's MLB slate.
And if you stick around to the very end of this video, we'll use the Draft Dashboard tools to make a DFS lineup using the picks we just made.
Okay guys, we have a 13 game slate tonight, so let's take a look at the pitcher position. Got a bunch of stud pitchers in good spots here tonight. Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer, Kevin Gausman, Jack Flaherty, Corbin Burns. A lot of these guys are in pretty good spots here. Now, out of all those guys, even though I like Jacob deGrom, he was just on the 10-day injured list. He's going to be back tonight. He's probably fine, but just out of caution, I think if I'm going to pay up, save a little bit of salary. So I like Max Scherzer with a small pitching advantage over the Cincinnati Reds. Max Scherzer is giving up a .617 OPS versus righties, and he's facing 6 righties here tonight. On top of that, the Reds have only hit 4 of his last 32 pitches. That's a 125 batting average. He's $11,000 FanDuel salary, and he's $300 less on DraftKings. Projected at 38 fantasy points here tonight, has an ERA of 2.24. Record is 4-2 on the season, pitching an average of 98 pitches per game, averaging 44 fantasy points per game. He scored 39, 42, and 65 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Max Scherzer here versus the Cincinnati Reds. Oh, and Vegas also thinks this is going to be a low-scoring game. Only 7.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So I like that. And on DraftKings, it looks like this guy's way underpriced. Kevin Gausman, he's $10,800 FanDuel salary, but he's $3,600 less on DraftKings. And he's 4-0 on the season with an ERA of 1.66, averaging 45 fantasy points per game on the season, scored 52, 61, and 46 fantasy points in the last 3 games. And he's got a pretty good record against the Diamondbacks. They've only hit 12 of his last 64 pitches. That's a 188 batting average. So if you're looking to save some salary on DraftKings and get a pitcher that's got a lot of upside, take a look at Kevin Gausman here versus the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Before I continue with the picks, I'm excited today because we added a new contest for everyone watching. If you want to enter the drawing for $100 PayPal, all you need to do is like this video, hit that subscribe button, and make a quick comment below to be entered into the drawing. We'll reply to a random comment and let you know that you won, and then we'll send you $100 PayPal. So it's that easy, and we pick a new winner every Saturday and announce them in our video. So get your comment in now so I can add another entry for you.
Now guys, just as a quick note, we just released a free DFS contest on Draft Dashboard for MLB and NBA for DraftKings and FanDuel. There's over $500 available in the prize pool, and this is a totally free contest you can enter as a Draft Dashboard member. So make sure to click the link in the description of this video, give Draft Dashboard a try, and you can start playing in our free DFS contest and compete to win some money. Okay, let's take a look at the first base position. I like Carlos Santana with a 53% batting advantage over Rich Hill. Carlos Santana, he bats 12% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .852 OPS versus lefties. And Rich Hill throws his worst ball by far to switch hitters. 41% worse than his other pitches, giving up a .908 OPS versus switch hitters. And I like this pick because Carlos Santana is 4 for 11 with a .364 batting average and a .909 OPS versus Hill. He's $3,300 FanDuel salary, and he's $500 more on DraftKings. So I like that price on both sites. And he's projected at 10 fantasy points here tonight. He's averaging 12 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored 22, 16, and 10 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Carlos Santana here versus Rich Hill. Okay, let's take a look at the second base position. I like Nick Solak with an 18% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Andrew Heaney. Nick Solak bats 14% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a .796 OPS versus lefties. And Andrew Heaney, he pitches his worst ball versus righty batters, giving up a .739 OPS versus righties. Now, Nick Solak is 5 for 12, batting a .417 batting average and a .929 OPS versus Heaney. And he's only $2,700 FanDuel salary, and he's $1,600 more on DraftKings. So I like that FanDuel price. And he's projected at 10.1 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 10 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 13 and 12 fantasy points in the last 2 games. So I like Nick Solak here versus Andrew Heaney. Okay, let's take a look at the third base position. I got a stud pick for you here. I like Jose Ramirez with a 55% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Tarik Skubal. Jose Ramirez is batting 18% better versus lefty pitchers. He's batting a 1.101 OPS versus lefties. And Tarik Skubal, he pitches his worst ball versus switch hitters, 37% worse than his other pitches, giving up a 1.176 OPS versus switch hitters. And Jose Ramirez is 3 for 6, batting .500 with a 1.238 OPS versus Skubal. He's $4,100 FanDuel salary, and he's $1,600 more on DraftKings. Projected at 12.5 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 13 fantasy points per game on the season. He scored 3, 13, and 6 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Jose Ramirez here versus Tarik Skubal.
Real quick, guys, I got great news. For a limited time, we're offering a full 30-day trial to Draft Dashboard. You can try all of our DFS tools for all sports. You can try the Position Optimizer, where you can see the top players ranked for each position. And we added a new Player Trends tool, where you can see the top salary differences between FanDuel and DraftKings. It's a really good tool to help you pick out value for the site that you're playing on. Oh, and if you're tired of doing research every day, we just added a cheat sheet that shows hand-picked plays for the slate. No confusing stat lines, no headaches, just a simple cheat sheet that shows the absolute best players for your lineups.
Okay, who do we have at the shortstop position? I got a value play for you. I like Gleyber Torres with an 11% batting advantage over a low salary pitcher, Steven Matz. Gleyber Torres, he's batting a .711 OPS versus lefties, and Steven Matz, he pitches a .954 OPS versus his righties. So he pitches his worst ball versus righty batters, and Gleyber Torres is 1 for 2, batting .500 with a 2.5 OPS versus Matz because that one hit was for a home run. So he's $2,700 FanDuel salary and $1,000 more on DraftKings. Projected at 10.1 fantasy points here tonight, averaging 9 fantasy points per game on the season, and he's been on fire, scoring 16, 32, and 25 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Gleyber Torres here versus Steven Matz. Okay, moving on to the outfield position. I like Aaron Judge with a 32% batting advantage over that same low salary pitcher, Steven Matz. Aaron Judge bats 18% better versus lefty pitchers, batting a 1.055 OPS versus lefties, and we know Steven Matz pitches his worst ball versus righty batters, giving up a .954 OPS versus righties. Now Aaron Judge is 2 for 8, batting at .250 and a .708 OPS versus Mats. He's $3,700 FanDuel salary and he's $1,800 more on DraftKings. Projected at 11.7 fantasy points here tonight. He's averaged 12 fantasy points per game on the season, and he scored 16, 12, and 9 fantasy points in the last 3 games. So I like Aaron Judge here versus Steven Matz. So another stud that's in a good spot, well, another couple of studs I'll give you here. Austin Meadows and JD Martinez are both in good spots in their matchup. Austin Meadows has a 63% batting advantage. He's 1 for 1 versus Brad Keller. He's $3,900 FanDuel salary, and he's $1,000 more on DraftKings, so he's in a good spot. And then JD Martinez has a 19% batting advantage. He is 9 for 27, so he's batting a .333 batting average versus Charlie Morton, and he's averaging 14 fantasy points per game on the season, scoring 3, 19, and 29 fantasy points in the last 3 games. And Vegas thinks there's going to be 9.5 runs scored in this game. That's their over-under. So they think this is going to be a high-scoring game. So I also like JD Martinez here versus Charlie Morton.
If you want to try all these daily fantasy tools for yourself, click the link in the description below this video or just go to draftdashboard.com. You can use our DFS lineup optimizer to build quality lineups using our picks and your own custom player pool. Click the link in the description below this video and try all these daily fantasy tools right now. Thanks so much for watching. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and hit that bell icon so you can get instant updates whenever we post a new video. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoyed this video, please smiggity smash that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Oh, and please comment below with your favorite player for this NBA slate. I love to hear what you guys have to think. Thanks again and good luck.